3, 2, 1.
Regardless that I'm quiet, I'm pretty loud and expressive musically. When it comes to music, I think of music pretty deeply in a way. So I'm not trying to sound like super spiritual or anything like that, but I try to have a relationship with it. It must feel good to me. Some of the things that bring to the table would be that, my vibes that I bring. Of course, the skill and whatever. But I think it's a lot to do with professionalism and just being easy to work with. I understand. No, I can hold a good conversation, no. But
so what we going to talk about?
You tell me though.
You say
you tell me. Okay, I understand.
You understand?
You already or we?
You will never know.
Alright. I let you go ahead like no man. There you go. You ain't tell me to sign anything right, so no, I
tell you, send my bio.
Serious?
Yeah, I tell you. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh yeah, you really didn't know the initial time?
I did.
I just remember.
I did.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did.
Guys, welcome to another episode of the Trini Drum Corner. And today, you see it on the thumbnails. And before I even introduce this guy, because we've been having a very interesting conversation off air, and I'll probably bring up some of this stuff. But before we get into that, I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to subscribe. Let me get that going immediately up front. As you're watching this, yeah, it should already been inside now, but alright. Yo, I asked this guy for his bio, and he thought he sent it for me now, but he didn't send it for me. And I really wanted to come here real hype and excited and read all this guy.
Because I'm real sorry though.
Right? But he didn't send it for me. So we are going to discover and learn everything about Samuel Isaiah
Richards, correct.
Isaiah Richards. Samuel.
Wait, I'll give my full government name, but that's fine. The people can know. People can know though.
That's our problem.
No, dog. No, it's fine. They can know.
What are they gonna do with your government name?
I don't know, dog. Same thing we talk. Come on. Same thing. But that's fine. We breaking out tonight. Lessons being learned. Let's go.
Bro, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
I listened to that first track, and first and foremost, very intense, right? It might sound like that.
Real energy.
It might sound like that, and the post-production and stuff like that. But in this room, it was very, very intense.
It's loud.
This is a gentleman who, he became one of my favorites. Like I just put it.
It's a pleasure.
Now I put it on.
I'll take it. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and everybody like to have this gossip talk.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate
your song, bro, and it's a level of intensity that I like, though. I like, but that's any playing aspect.
I catch.
And I kind of excited to get that intensity in the interview. You feel me getting that?
We can get.
So we getting into
it.
Anything, how this whole drumming career started?
It's a real good question. So at a very tender age, my parents were into music real heavily. Back in the days, we could probably pull up a little clip I could say something.
Hey, by the way, I know your daddy, yeah?
Serious?
Yeah.
He tell you all that?
Nah, no, he tell me. Well, we had a talk.
He tell it though. Right? He tell it all
now. So we talk about. So he knows the camera guy's dad, and he was like, yeah, he had a whole excited moment about back in the day, yeah. And then he's just really bad in his craft though. Like,
he's good.
So he outfit me with a little kit.
Yeah, fresh. Come on.
Yeah. So hey. So that should be a plug, boy. You leave daddy hanging, boy.
Guys, if you're looking for suits, all your weddings, they're going on your runway. Come on. Lee Richards Collections. Pick up the brand, dog.
I reminded them. I just half off on my suit, right? Yeah. So, daddy played music or singing?
So, my dad was a worship leader. My mom was a psalmist in church. So it's an early tender age. I had no choice but to be there by default, nobody. So, all SCA.
Daddy force you.
I wouldn't say they forced it. It was like, no, get really no choice. You finish school thing, they have worship practice, so you have to go now, boy. And,
okay.
That's the regular life.
So, other than being present, like, they was like, oh, I need my son to learn keys, drums.
That's a funny thing. So, I'm going to kind of recollect some of what I was told.
Okay.
So my dad used to say when I was real small, I used to take all the pots and the pans, and even when I was a young age, I used to be tapping the table and I mash up the first couch set, and eventually I'll buy back a brand new couch set.
It will
come in due time,
Yeah.
They deal with my proper. But they understood at a young age that it was part of the development, and I mean they invested a lot, so they used to try their best to make sure that we were around. Not just myself, or my entire family actually. Musically inclined, all of us, we were in worship practice, we go to church, we sing every Sunday. They used to throw a lot of gospel events, a lot of worship gospel events, different places like Queen's Hall, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually got my first little break on a proper stage by family,
Drumming?
Yeah, that was my first. I had a guy that used to drum for my parents back in the day. His name is Uncle Sean. Big up Uncle Sean.
Sean what?
Sean Leonce is his name. I don't know if you ever came across him.
No.
But actually, this is a good point. Niles and them guys were around.
Okay.
Niles, Kevin Niles, LaFleur, Emile Fortune, them kind of fellas, boy. So
good peoples.
So I'm young, they practicing in our living room, man. I thirsty, I want to get a little play thing. I eventually, as a man, I get a little chance, and they let me say, you get to play a little special song. So from there, just people started asking me, we love, you're young, saying where from, we want to work with you, saying, me tell real people no. She had that discernment unlocked. Rest in peace, mommy, so they were good people, my parents, so they were always looking out for me. They still are. My dad still looks out for me a lot these days.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was my early introduction. Before you knew it, I started playing with different people.
So hold on. So a birdie told me that you're a multi-instrumentalist, right? So it's not just drums. What's the other stuff?
So as a man, I try to stretch myself as far as I could go.
Okay.
This
is your doing. So
no. Actually, none of it was them saying you
okay.
need to learn drums.
Right, yeah.
They realized that I had a gift and it was natural for me and I just had natural timing. They actually, when they noticed that, they tried carrying me to Leonardo Morales. And they just realized I was too miserable for school, music school.
Right,
and I was like, we had to take him out sometime. I go into class, he calling me, I saying I don't want to be here, I outside, thing. You know what? After a while, they were just like, we know on this.
I mean, that makes sense after mashing up back outside.
Yeah,
it's like, I need to concentrate this energy somewhere.
I was about 4 them time, boy. So I don't want to be learning paradiddles and so I want to learn fancy thing. At the time you call it fancy thing because back then I didn't know what chops was, Yeah, I didn't know about all of that, back then. I just know I like that.
So
all the flair.
So you got your big break or your first break in this concert
with your parents.
Queen's Hall. And was it just church alone that trained you in terms of you being able to play in church? Because we started talking about parents being somewhat of celebrities in terms of the gospel and singing at the children concerts and stuff like that. And then all we heard is from there, and then you're playing the drums, and we hear about the pots and pans, but it's like, when was the first let me go on the drums? Hey, that's actually making sense.
I think it was just I can't remember now, boy. Some of it, because it was
so
real early.
So
as long as I know myself, it just happened now, boy. It just happened now, boy. And some of it were just stories that I heard. So as long as I know, I used to play a little bit, tap a little bit. It was just natural. They had keyboards and something around. So actually, my sister had a little kind of purple xylophone thingy. And I remember I think my mom had a keyboard before that, but I used to play with the both. And I think I mashed up a good couple of keyboards. Probably 1 or 2 of them now, boy. I mashed up real thing now. They mashed up a drum set. They bought me a good drum set. I think it was from Simon's in Port of Spain. Man, I mashed up that too. I decided to go and wash it with water and scrub it down.
Wash the drums. I just need that to make sense to me.
I don't understand. As a youth, I don't know what I was doing back then. I just having fun.
You remember none of these things.
Dog, I says a man, I scrap it down thing, whatever.
Not out of convenience, right?
I don't know though.
I can't remember.
It just happened. It just happened.
I just think I would remember washing a drum kit.
I remember that. I could remember taking the drums and taking the shells and washing them now, boy. But I don't remember the reason why I was washing it for too now, boy.
Let me know in the comments. If you know anybody who ever wash a drum kit, soap and water, wash full drum set shells, everything.
The drums get a proper polish though.
Yeah, bro.
Proper cleaning though.
That's crazy. So with that being said, showtime, right? So vague memories, pulling together, tapping, getting into the drums, being able to play in church. Mommy had the discernment. It's like, yo, hey, my kid could do this. Dad had the belief in you. And it's like, all right. So they had this concert. Now we had the show. First big break. How was that?
feel real good, dog.
You remember what age that was?
I would have probably been like 10 years old, about like age 10, about
Yeah.
age 10.
Nerves and get you long 10 pairs of sticks.
Nah, but I was a real happy boy. Because remember, I was always around actually. So I used to see, they used to let me play African drums. I missed that part. So I used to be playing African drums in church. I don't know why they didn't let me play the trap set. They used to say I was good.
Just
I don't know.
Stop. I have a pet peeve with people calling drum sets
Trap set.
No, I heard this explanation some time ago. Well, do that now.
Drum set. We give it the proper name. Drum kit.
I don't know why this young man call it a trap set, but I probably just Pop's influence. I was calling it a trap set. Anyway, that's just my little cooks. But
drum set.
Yeah.
What were we saying?
No, you was excited to play.
Yeah, I was excited to play. I was in primary school at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's at once with the smallies. It's at a little crowd now, boy. So, it's at a girl I'd like at the time, too. So, she was in the crowd now, boy. She was at the side singing, my mother, let me play for that song now, boy. So, as a man, I feel nice. How you mean, dog? As a man, feel real glad, too. My first crush, everything, too.
So, like, what was the reward?
From her?
Yeah.
I think the next week is when she wrote my letter in class and she was like, you know, will you be my, yeah. Well, she told me that too, but, you know, will you be my boyfriend? That's what happened.
You all hear this? Listen, you could play the drums and get a girlfriend immediately, like the next week. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear it from. No, I don't know if this is a red man thing or just. You know,
I think it's a musician thing too. I feel like girls have a kind of gravitation towards it too,
it's a drama thing, boy. Because my wife and I be having this debate, boy.
What she say?
She just said drummers have this kind of. Cause we. As she just said, we have a look.
Okay.
I don't know what the look is.
I was asking some people about that just to get it if you still don't understand.
Yeah, there's watching. It's like, okay. Because I guess apparently denim jacket is one. Around.
And they see you walk on stage like that.
Having jeans is one. Right? You identify with these things? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah, because somebody told me
does he come on?
We have a real rebellious energy. Just drummers. I don't know.
I see it. I'm saying it, but I don't see it though. I don't see it.
Yeah, I rebuke that. We are good fellas out in the streets.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. I mean, other than getting girls and things.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's what happened to him. I can't. That was my.
But you sure, boy? But you sure, dog?
Right? I didn't have that opportunity. But
I don't believe that, dog. I don't believe that.
I just think that's part of the you know.
You never experienced
Red Man syndrome.
You never had none of that, dog. How you met? Nah, this is my interview. Sorry, continue.
No, you could ask.
How you met your wife? Did she see you playing drums first thing? Whatever.
So that's the thing. That never happened to me.
Serious?
Yeah, it was just y'all
meet in church.
Yeah, it was like a concert thing. No, actually, I knew her sister, right?
Okay.
And they had a little family thing happening, and I saw her anymore, and I was just like,
it's more
nice.
vibes.
Yeah,
more
so and that
vibes.
I mean. Yeah. You ain't getting me out there, bro. You ain't catching me. Right? So, shifting gears. Right? Yeah, because you will get up in my business now, boy. So, I think I just take this opportunity for him to play another song. Right? This is his second song. Right? I'm excited for this song because this time around, I want to hear as much soca and cultural stuff in this show this season.
Yeah.
And that track you bring, I hear a piece of it before, and that's fire.
Now big up them guys. Big up the guys who play on it.
What's the name of the song? Who helped you with the track? Tell me about it.
So as I'm on it up, my big brother Josh. Big up Josh. I think 2 Josh plays on it. Both Josh Richardson played bass on it. Yeah. He played bass. In post, we may probably use some guitars on it, so you might get to hear the nice final version. So Josh Richardson, Josh Gaines.
All right, what's the name of the song?
Open the Gates by Mark Isaacs. Blessed Messenger.
All right.
Song.
Enjoy.
4, 3, 2, 1.
bro, you had to teach me that song, bro. Like, so, yeah. So I had Michael Ford on, right? And he, I would say, he specialized. And he mightn't say that, but you know, he's a Panorama champion winner, and you know, we're just going through some soca grooves, and you have a lot of more things in there in terms of more so like your approach with the hi-hats and stuff like that. Where you learn that from?
As Bojan was talking before, as a man, I spent a lot of time looking at some of my favorite drummers, the ones that I love hearing the most. A couple of years ago, I have a lot of interest in guys like Devon Taylor. I spent a lot of time, I was always telling my teacher, I spent a lot of time listening to him play and his approach, because I don't know, I find like standing up in the crowd, I hear them guys, it just feels so good now, but in terms of how they approach. And I would have studied the way that they love to leave spaces between certain sections, and I think with that, over time, I would have combined a lot of those things, and even a bit of Devon Taylor too. I wouldn't play like those guys, but I would find what feels right and what feels unique to me. And when I listen to a song, I'd be like, how could I approach this my way? How do I, uniquely fit in here?
So that's interesting. Is this more so in a general sense, or putting into the song that I just played, in terms of how you approach soca? So it's like, okay, I have this influence from Devon, Six Taylor, or Devon, whoever, Sean Wright, as you was talking about.
And those
before.
guys don't play soca.
So that's so that's the thing. It's like, okay, how do I smash these two things together? Because who are your local influences that you pull from to now kind of fuse these two influences or these multiple influences?
So I think a good bit of it would come from looking at guys like Mighty, because I like their approach to soca. I like listening to a lot of other guys. I say even guys like Alpha and thing too. Their approach to soca was different. It was new to me. Yes, I know those guys from playing in church, and then to hear I also play in church, and I want to say, okay, they don't play soca like that. At the time they weren't. You know. So I was like, okay, how could I have this same type of vibe, same type of dynamic and energy, and still probably play my own way, and what still feels unique to me. And over the time, I just kept developing my song number.
Yeah. I actually, I'm going to do this for me, right? I mean, I hope you guys at home benefit. But Sammy had to show me that groove, boy. Sammy had to show me that groove. And if you're up for it.
So the groove that I was playing for at least the majority, of the song, I would say it have a heavy gospel influence. So I would kind of pocket it like a gospel type of way, or at least with a type of gospel vibe, right? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so let's. I mean, for me,
yeah, no,
but for somebody who's going to learn this from scratch, let's break down the hi-hats pattern.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And learn the correlation between what hand is coming down on the snare and the elements of the actual groove. All right, so we could probably start hi-hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of these things I really never think through, boy, but we could go, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the hi-hat pattern, basically.
Okay.
And then in between there, that's where I add in the snare. So we could go back to the hi-hat. So we could go back to the hi-hat pattern, and then we go to the snare, right? The snare pattern will be something like this. Separate from the hi-hat pattern, right? Slow it down a little bit. And I just add in the bass drum kick. So we have that'll be 4 single strokes, right? Yeah, 4 single strokes.
All right, let's hear
it. 1, 2, 3, and slow it down a little bit. So bring in the crib. If I speed it up a little bit, we will get something like this. You can add a little flair to it too when you feel like it.
All right. So I realized that you're playing open-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the only way to accomplish that? No, I mean to
That's the
tie
thing.
up yourself, but it's just like that's the way you learn it, or that's like the way to get it.
That's legit just how I play.
Okay.
I play with open hands now.
Okay.
I know this is the... We could probably approach it like this too.
Yeah, with a right hand lead.
So we could do it like this too. You know? 1, 2, 3, and... Then we can add a new snare drum, right? 1, 2, 3, the 4 single stroke kicks, right? 1, 2, 3, and... I end up opening my hands, dog.
So you went back to was comfortable. By chance, are you a lefty?
No, dog. That's a crazy thing.
That's interesting.
I don't know how I end up playing like that, you know.
That's interesting.
I think as long as I know myself, I end up playing like that. Open-handed.
So I want to know, give me some of your top influences locally, right? Because I want to get into another part of this little segment here.
I think some of the local guys I really appreciate, you know, as mentioned before, I really appreciate Mighty style. So I love hearing Mighty play. I love hearing Jerry play drums. Jerry Williams, and he's pretty good at soca. I mean, for me, like, you know, soca is probably not my primary genre, but I do love it. What else would probably go in the mix?
So let me put you on the spot, because I'll come back to this list, right? And I put it in on the spot. So you say Mighty. Mighty is one of your influences, and in my estimation, you have some awesome chops, right?
Appreciate that.
So I'm gonna put you in the spot and ask you, what's your favorite chop? And could you play and teach it to us one time?
All right, let me add a soak into that. Add a soak into that one.
What I mean by it?
All right, there you go. There you go. Might probably add a cut because I might probably add a find it, feel it, and then teach it, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'd probably say this is my favorite chop.
All right.
It goes a little something like this, right? So we have a little ghost note action happening in the snare. We have a little pattern going around the floor toms and the rack toms, right? So you go a little something like this, I could probably slow it down, right? 1, 2, 3, and... And sometimes within this pattern, I'll probably add in... these are one of the things I actually learned from looking at Devon Taylor. Take your same fill and probably like add weight placements in terms of like even sometimes single strokes where it probably feels right now. Like. And I could change up the pattern too. And if I do it a lot faster, it'll feel a lot different now, boy.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and I'll speed it up as I go along. 1, 2, 3, and... Little stuff like that, no boy.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, there's another plug. You can't be getting all this information and not liking and subscribing to the page. This is free. This is
Big
free.
up Trini, jump corner.
Exactly. Right? So, most people might not know this, but you're Gates Praise drummer.
Yes, sir.
And in my estimation, Gates Praise is the biggest worship band in Trinidad and Tobago, probably Caribbean. right?
Yeah,
I know,
it's just so too. Yeah,
you consider? Yeah.
I don't think. I mean to song any type of way, but I don't think we have any. I should probably shouldn't say that.
I mean, he said it already. So they are the biggest worship band in the Caribbean. Yeah, stand by it, bro. Come on.
Make up your space.
Even if it's not the truth, stand by it. You are there, drama. Come on, right? How you gonna gig? Yes.
How did I get a gig? Yes, in the middle of the pandemic. Big up my big brother Joel Julian. You know Joel? Julian?
That's my big brother too.
Solid guy.
Actually, Joel, not Joel. Joel taught me my second chop. Because he taught me my first chop ever, Makisi Joseph. And then Joel, I won't say how many years ago, right? But yeah, Joel is like that dude from since way back when. We had like a million sheds back in the day. So yeah. So in the pandemic, we already had a relationship. I mean, as time went along, we got closer and stuff. In the pandemic, it was like we have our worship. It all was coming up. We wanted to play on whatever. We did the show eventually. I brought some of Troy. You must have been doing something right for somebody to be like, hey, we having this event and yeah, I think you should play. What was happening in our season?
I guess it will probably be more vibes.
See?
I think with a lot of people, they appreciate that when it comes to getting the music down and even just outside of music as well too. As you would observe, I real chill. I real relax. I to myself. You hardly hear me quarreling unless somebody probably real shipping us. But outside of that to myself, but I get it done. I get it done. I think they appreciated that and the song and the style that's unique to me. I think they would have appreciated that, and I think they would have seen it fit to include me into the mix. Actually, I didn't initially, even in going with Gatespace, I didn't feel like I went to probably fit because I really love rap and hip hop. But eventually that opened up a door to CCM, and I really didn't like CCM music. To be honest, before I didn't really have a choice. So eventually, some of these songs had like a heavy CCM type of influence. So I had no choice but to dabble and be as versed as I could in it. And through that, it opened up even a lot of other doors and connections. I started making a little content here and there. Started reaching out to different people, and before that, opportunities just started opening.
Yeah, let's get into some of the highlights.
Yes. So, I think some of the connections I would have made, some of them would have been over the years a little bit. I might have made some connections, and over the years they would have seen, this guy, we probably serious about it. He loves this thing, and respect him for that, and we like his vibes, and we want to add him to whatever it is we doing. Them as the artists,
call names, call the big names. Yeah.
So I'll big up one of the sisters that brought me across. So would have been Chantal Lindsay from Tobago. She's a pretty solid artist. On the Gates Praise, I would have gotten the opportunity to play with Mary and George. She was on tour with Maverick City for a while.
Nice,
a solid female artist. Through that, and even just posting one or two little contents. If you see my IG, you'll see some clips.
Yeah, yes, it's not one or two. It's
it's like a bit.
You're putting in your work, bro.
Yeah.
You're putting in work. How important is that in terms of making sure that you take time to set up nice camera angle, or I don't even know what you use, it, your phone or whatever the case may be, because the content is great.
I appreciate it.
But how important is that in your journey to having the connections that you have today?
I think when people come on my social media now, or even at the time when somebody connections that I have now, I think it was real important. I think it's almost like if you're walking past a store and you see like some of the display number, and sometimes it's hardly even your skill to where it's just your vibes, the aesthetic that they give off. They like that. So some people, they were like, we like this guy and we wanna work with him. So like one of the guys are currently doing like a bit of stuff for Sherwin Gardner, and Sherwin is doing pretty good right now. But I've done a lot of arrangements and stuff like that. Even tomorrow I'll be tracking one of his records for the album that he has coming out soon. I remember meeting Sherwin backstage at a local gospel event, and he was telling, you know, Leroy Byers?
Yeah.
I can't remember how I met Leroy, but it was real brief too, and it was good vibes anyways.
Ain't he Sherwin's MD still?
As far as I know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, as far as I remember. I remember walking backstage, and actually, I think Leroy was the one who reached out to me, and he was like, "You wanna pull me on some stuff and whatever." And then Sherwin saw my Instagram before. I think he might have seen it separately from Leroy, and he tell Leroy, "Yeah, this is the guy that I want to work with." And he would have seen me through Instagram, and he was like, "I thought you was from the States, so."
I thought so too, no, to be honest.
He's like, I thought he was from the States.
Yeah.
And I think it also comes from just the total vibe and the aesthetic that they give off, and even just probably just the quality of content, how you operate. I have a lot of influences that I look up to.
So tell me, what should I be doing on my Instagram as a drummer
Your
in
IG,
2024? Okay, so not personally my IG,
Your
but
IG
for
proper
any
though.
drummer
Better than mine.
in 2024, what we should be doing social media wise.
I don't want to talk like as an expert, but I'll
Come
speak
on.
from what I have seen work for me.
Yeah.
With some of the connections that I've made, I would see it's important to get as much content as you could. You probably don't need like a real best camera, but you know, some good decent
What
content.
do you use?
Something like my iPhone, my iRig. I have an iRig mono. And depending on where I go, I may multi-track the show and probably just mix it on after. So the clips at Gatesways I did in the Savannah, they were multi-tracked, and then I would mix everything afterwards. No, but
Okay.
yeah.
So once you have a good phone, guys, you can get
I say just make it work. Just make it work.
Yeah.
Just make where you have work. No more.
Any tips in terms of camera placement? Any toys I should buy? Any little rig? Any drum thing that we could invest
from like
in?
a camera perspective.
Yeah. I mean, again, I watching the content and the quality is great, bro.
I appreciate it. To be real, the first of the clips that I put up on my IG where I was playing live actually, I had a camera guy. I had a camera guy.
Man, the man lying to me,
I had a camera guy.
focusing.
If everything after that would have been probably from people, me setting up my iPhone, connected to the iRig, connected to a mixer, get some decent signal. Once it's sounding good, I'll make it work.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Might have some shows I might have got. I probably won't get the best signal, and I say, alright, I might keep it there and probably post it out a later date. But
Gotcha.
I try to get as much valuable clips. So sometimes I might just say, you know what, post. No
So-
looking back.
Just post and keep the content going.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
And that's it. You'll
Yeah.
be getting these international calls. Sure, I'm gonna be calling you.
I would say it's a little more than that, boy. I say it was a little more than that.
But then again, too, it's also your vibes, as I said.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
also your vibes
That's
and
true.
you know.
Yeah. I also think too some of them were also from me trying to build relationships with valuable people.
Okay.
And when I say valuable people, I mean valuable in the sense that people that I know that could open doors for me.
Right.
And you know that, and just sometimes even building a relationship with me, not even be on like a musical type of vibes. It might just be to have like a solid connection with these people, and I know eventually some door would open.
All right. One last question. What do you bring to the table when somebody hires you?
That's a pretty good question. I'd love to say, regardless that I'm quiet, I'm pretty loud and expressive musically.
Yes, you are.
And fellas know that. You know, so I'm pretty loud and expressive musically. When it comes to music, I think of music pretty deeply now, boy. So I'm not trying to sound like super spiritual or anything like that, but I try to have a relationship with it now. It must feel good to me. A lot of the times I go based on how good it feels. It's probably like a worship project. It may be more spontaneous, and we have like organic worship, and wherever God directs us, we go. You know, but if it's just me and you know somebody hire me at a gig or something like that, yeah, I would say some of the things I bring to the table would be that my vibes that I bring. Of course, you know, the skill and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot to do with professionalism and just being easy to work with now. A lot of times people hire me for gigs. I send the music, connect with the guys, and call that George. I don't argue too much, quarrel too much. Unless they're probably doing my injustice or it's shipping us, but at least
Yeah, that's
majority of
least
the
likely.
times,
And
yeah.
Nah, don't put them out there. Don't put them out there. You are a good
I would
fella.
say-
I mean, not doing
I would
that
say a
today.
good bit of the times, yeah. It's pretty rare where people try to take advantage. It does happen. If we keep in a tree, you see this uncut dog. It does sometimes happen, but majority of the times.
Why are they doing Sammy da? Why are they doing Sammy da? Why are they doing the young man da? Why are they doing them now? Don't do that now. Coming from me, Butch Boss. Don't do that now. All right? Sammy, where can they find you?
So, if guys trying to reach out to me, you all can follow me at SAMMYRICH Music on all platforms.
Nice. Nice.
Platforms IG, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I just recently created a YouTube. I plan to post some content.
Come on with
later
it.
in the year, though.
Come on.
So.
I mean, well, you have something from here, you know. So.
Oh yeah, and TikTok too.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying the TikTok thing.
Yo,
Yeah, TikTok.
I really appreciate this, bro. How you feel?
I feel good.
Feel good?
I feel good. Other times, but I feel good.
So, y'all, it's here first. Y'all know where to find them, right? This is another episode of the Trini Drum Corner with my boy, Samuel.
Samuel Isaiah Richards.
Yeah, full middle name. Leave it.
It's out there, dog. It's out there.
It's over there. But leave it.
People know.
This is my boy, Sammy. And he's going to play us out with this last track. So, introduce the track. And guys at home, enjoy.
So the name of this record is Wait on the Lord by Will. No Social Will. I hope you all enjoy this.